Hey, you tired night owls and sleepy morning larks, welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to convince you that everything you thought you knew about sleep might be completely wrong. We'll be diving into a bizarre yet strangely sensible piece of human history, the time when we all slept not once but twice a night. Yes, you heard that correctly, 2 scoops of nightly snoozing with a little intermission in the middle. Grab your hot cocoa, fluff up those pillows and prepare yourself for the ultimate bedtime story. Picture it. Eastern Front of World War I, 1915. A Hungarian soldier named Paul Kern takes a bullet to the head, through his temple no less, and somehow survives. Should have been game over right then and there, right? But no. Paul literally shrugged it off except for one tiny side effect. He apparently stopped sleeping, like at all. For decades. That's definitely not on my list of recommended health hacks. Some doctors suspect that he may have been catching microsleeps here and there, little blips of unconsciousness too short for him to notice. Still, going years without a real snooze is about as wild as claiming you're just resting your eyes in the middle of a 6 a.m. lecture. Regardless, one thing's clear. Human beings generally need to sleep, or else our brains stage a protest. And if you've ever tried going 36 hours without rest, you know your brain's protests are anything but peaceful. Fast forward from Paul Kern's bullet-dodging exploits to something that impacts us all. It turns out science still isn't 100% sure why we need sleep, or even how it fully works. We know it's critical. We know our brains do things like memory processing and garbage disposal while we snooze, but exactly why we must be unconscious for so many hours is kind of like Netflix's "Are you still watching?" message. It's persistent, and no one really has a perfect answer for it. Yet somehow, in the grand slam of life's necessities, food, water, oxygen, and sleep, it's that last one we've historically done in more ways than you might expect. So, get this, until relatively recently lots of humans didn't do that single 8-hour block of sleep we all think is normal. They did something called segmented or biphasic sleep, first sleep and second sleep with an awake period in between. Yeah, like a halftime show for your slumber. Historian Roger Ekirch stumbled onto this secret while doing research into old diaries, novels, plays, anything he could get his hands on. One reference from Charles Dickens even talks about a first sleep, implying a second, because apparently that was completely normal at the time. Imagine reading that in school. Wait, sorry Dickens, you want me to do what at 2 a.m.? But here's the shocker. These references appear in texts from all around the world, all the way back to ancient Greece. Ekirch found more than 2,000 examples of it, thousands of historical receipts basically saying, oh yeah, we go to sleep around 9, wake up at midnight, do some chores, maybe pop by the neighbor's house, very neighborly at 2 a.m., then crawl back under the blankets a few hours later for round 2. So if biphasic sleep was so common, why did we stop? Well, as it turns out, inventing all sorts of fancy lamps changes more than just your electric bill. Once upon a time the world was dark after sunset. No streetlights, no TV glow, not even a smartphone screen to light your face at 3 a.m. That darkness made it safer, and a heck of a lot more boring, to just stay in bed. But everything changed once city streets started getting lit up. Paris, the city of light, was among the first to add public lamps, paving the way for nightlife. And when cafes serving hot coffee began popping up, people thought, hey, why go to bed so early when we can stay up sipping espresso and gossiping about each other? Gradually, bedtime began drifting later. And that chunk of late-night wakefulness, the watch, got squeezed right out of the picture because folks simply weren't hitting the hay at 9 p.m. anymore. Between the bright lights and the fear of missing out, biphasic sleep got voted off the island. Monophasic sleep, our single-block approach, officially took the throne. Interestingly, the word insomnia only entered the English language in the 18th century, right around the time the second sleep started to vanish. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's fun to wonder if some forms of insomnia today could actually be our brains going, hey buddy, it's time for the midnight watch. Why are you panicking instead of getting up for a snack? Ekirch suggests that popping awake in the middle of the night might be part of our primal design. We freak out now because we're told we need uninterrupted sleep. But what if your body is simply channeling your medieval ancestors? Sure, your boss might not be thrilled if you show up exhausted, but who's to say that 2 a.m. game of solitaire isn't coded into your DNA? So, should we all revert back to 2 sleeps a night? Honestly, your mileage may vary. We do have Netflix, central heating and cozy memory foam mattresses, none of which our ancestors had. Life in ye old times was basically a shared mattress, snoring neighbors, and a pinch of fleas for good measure. Second sleep could have just been a workaround for, dealing with the nighttime itchies. Still, modern experiments show that if you force folks into long periods of darkness, they often slip naturally into a segmented sleep pattern. Whether that's better or just different is still up for debate. But considering how important sleep is for basically everything, immune function, mental health, not flipping tables in traffic, it's probably best to do what works for you. In the end, it's incredible how quickly humanity forgot a totally different approach to bedtime. But maybe we never really lost it, it's just been buried under centuries of bright lights and late-night entertainment. So the next time you wake up at 2 a.m. feeling like a nocturnal weirdo, remember that once upon a time that was just business as usual. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this late-night lore, give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe for more videos like this. And of course, get some sleep, whether it's 1 chunk, 2 chunks, or 5 micro naps spaced between cat videos. Sweet dreams.